All right, I think it's 9 minutes over, so we'll go ahead and get started. Thank you for your patience. For those who were unable to attend the demo, I'll record the session and share it with you guys as well as post it on our website. So welcome to the Business Analysis and Agile Scrum trainings from I2C Business Solutions. This course is CRS BA 101. It's kind of an introductory to advanced course clubbed together, right? So it's not just beginner course and then you have to take another course in order to, learn advanced business analysis and Agile Scrum. So this course is packed with not only business analysis, but also manual testing, Agile, Scrum, and many more products that are in demand to work as a business analyst or a Scrum Master, which you will see as we move along. Okay, this is just a disclaimer. So the agenda today would be we will quickly do some introductions, and I'll showcase some of the references and what kind of students have taken the trainings with us before and how successful they are. And we will also look at the IT jobs overview, especially the business analysis and Agile Scrum jobs. So we'll go in and look at the job boards to get a feel of real time. Is this course really in demand? Is this a good career path for me? Okay. And we will also go through the roadmap. Is this the right career for me? If I join BA or start my career as a BA, or I want to advance or switch from some other role into business analyst within IT, is this a good track for me? So that'll give this roadmap discussion will give you a good overview of that so that you can make an informed decision. We will also look at salaries, right, and the demand for business analysts and scrum masters, because salary is also very, very important for you to make a decision. Then we will look at the course overview, kind of, go at a very high level, what topics will be covered and so on. And at the end, we'll give you an opportunity to ask any questions that's in your mind. This is purely a very, very interactive session. So feel free to interrupt me at any point. If you have a question, you can just say the buzzword question and I'll stop and ask any question that you may have while I'm going through this. Or you can save your questions for at the end of the session. This session is going to be about an hour long, so maybe another 50 more minutes. But if you have any other, questions that you were unable to ask or couldn't think of while the demo is going on, I'm going to share my direct contact number, my WhatsApp number, where you can send me your question or ask me for another discussion. The class will start on next week on Monday at 8 o'clock, and it's a 1.5 hour class. It's going to be online, just like this, virtual class experience, very, very interactive class, completely practical, hands-on, which you will see. And it's going to be Monday through Thursday, 4 days a week, and the classes run about 5 to 6 weeks to learn and excel in business analysis.
What time did you say the class starts? Sorry.
The class starts at next Monday, and 8 p.m. would be the Eastern time for 1.5 hours. So
Okay.
8 to 9:30, Monday through Thursday.
Okay.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I reserve for assignments and homework and quizzes so that you guys are catching up with the class, because this class is completely practical hands-on experience.
Okay, and then one question I could probably hold off on this question until the end of the session, but I guess since we're talking about this class, did you, and I can't remember if you mentioned this on your website, but do you also offer any job placement assistance, or is it just simply training only?
Yes, so if you can hold on to that
Yeah.
question, I think I'm
Okay.
going to cover that in my agenda. But
Okay.
if we still need more discussion, definitely we'll explore that more. Yeah, but
Sure,
that's
sure.
a
That's fine. That's why
great.
I said I don't wanna
Yeah,
jump the gun, and I
yeah,
figured we'll probably discuss that.
sure.
Thank you.
That's a great question. So thank you. All right. Um, Introduction about me. Once again, my name is Fahim Khan. I have a master's degree in computer science. I have several certifications, Scrum Master, Business Analyst, ITIL, and many, development and information technology certifications and project management. And I'm an Agile coach as well, where Agile and Scrum is in huge demand at this point. And I have memberships associated with PMI. These two institutes kind of keep the members associated with the latest trends and going on in IT, and especially in the business analysis and management world. I firmly believe in continuous improvement. That's why I'm always on learning something new. Any new product comes up, anything that benefits my students, as well as the jobs that I do. I work as a freelancer. So I'm on hands-on experience guy where I'm working daytime and kind of uh, teaching in the evenings. Okay, so I'm going to give you the real time situations and problems that we face during working as a business analyst and project manager or scrum master, kind of, help you guys understand what goes on a day-to-day basis. So I'm not a person who has worked like who quit job like 10 years ago and I'm just teaching. So that adds a huge value to this training. I firmly believe in simplicity. So you will notice that all the things that you're going to learn is going to be very simple for you to learn. Make it very easy, not at all complicated, which you will see in the agenda. So I have about 20 years of experience working in different industries. I was fortunate enough to work in financial, insurance, public sector, government agencies, telecom, healthcare, and so on, as different roles where I worked as BA, senior BA, and currently I'm a BA slash project manager. I also have worked as a manual tester. So many hats gives me that all that experience that I can share with my students, right? So that would be a good value add to you guys. The reason why I am engaged in training is I love helping people. I want people to succeed. I want them to get trained in the latest and greatest technologies or anything related to IT. So based on your background, I'll, kind of work with you to update your resume and to help you get a job, do mock interviews and so on, which you will see in the agenda. Um, and I'm in US, I'm in New Jersey. I'm always on WhatsApp. That's the best way to reach me. And if there is any need for us to have a conversation or, hey, I didn't understand this concept, can we have like a one-on-one session? I can definitely do that with you. If you can't wait for the next day until the class is there. So any additional sessions, I'm always going to be there. This is very helpful for you if you're like facing interviews or you're going through the process of applying for jobs and you have, let's say, interview next day and hey, Fahim, I don't know this requirement. I need to prepare for this interview. So I'm going to set up a one-on-one session with you, like an hour long session to help you articulate or give answers based on that job description. So I'm going to, be working with you constantly on that. Once you start working, my support doesn't stop there. So let's say you're very successful, you learned well, you had practical and you cleared your interviews, you got a job. You start working as a business analyst. And a week later, you're called into a meeting and you have no clue what you need to talk about, what the agenda is, what do you have to do. So again, you just text me on WhatsApp. If it is urgent, you say, hey, I have an urgent meeting. I need your response in next hour, or I have a meeting tomorrow. Can you, give us time and can we discuss the agenda or what do I have to do? So the key for us to communicate would be you would put in, either urgent tag word in the message when you're communicating with me or something that it can wait. I'd prefer if you can give me at least, 24-hour notice, but sometimes, situations are urgent. So I'm always going to support and I'm going to, adjust my schedule or my meetings and I can always find time to call you or set up sessions. So all that support will be there. And that's going to be, I would say, a huge, huge added value if people are taking training from a person within US as opposed to someone in India or elsewhere. Okay, so and there are many training institutes that don't provide that direct access to the trainer. Okay, so at this point, I would give you opportunity to introduce yourself. All I need is if you have any IT experience or if you and also your education background and what are you what you know got you interested in learning more about business analysis training. So three things, if you can. So we'll start with Mirza. If you can maybe give us an intro in 1 or 2 minutes, that will be great.
Yeah, give me, if you don't mind, give me 1 second here, please. 1 second.
Sure, sure. So we'll start with I think Roshni is online. Roshni, hi.
Hi. Okay. Actually, I'm Fahim. I think I did take class for my Scrum Master with you guys a couple years back, but still I couldn't launch a job. But I'm working with automotive as a sales admin,
Hmm.
but trying to do something better. As like I said, I did take the Scrum Master classes, but I still couldn't launch any job yet. I'm trying for that still at the same time as I do apply or try to apply. I see that there are also business analysts, a lot more requirements out there
Hmm.
and jobs as well. So I'm thinking about, along with my also I took the PSM and PSPO certification as well. So I'm thinking if I do have business analyst training, so maybe as far as finding a job that should help me better. So I'm here again with you
Okay,
guys. I
great.
mean,
Thank
as
you.
I took the Scrum Master classes, yeah, definitely I liked it. I mean, you were right. I mean, classes were great. I think at that time, our Scrum Master classes were provided by Lakshmi Noon,
Yes,
was the instructor. Yes.
yes, yes.
So
I,
yeah.
I recall.
So
Yep.
I'm back from my previous experience, but definitely I would need help with job placement or preparation.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. Roshni, welcome. Right, Mirza, are you back?
Yes, can you hear me all right?
Yes, I can hear you now.
All right, perfect. So I'm based out of Chicago, and
Okay.
I have a background in health informatics actually. So I'm really more into healthcare side of things, operations, revenue cycle management to be precise. And honestly, my interest grew over time with respect to business analyst, Scrum Master, Agile, all of these things, because you come across of these a lot. And that's why my interest really grew into it. And obviously, huge demand in the market. Like you have seen so many job postings and positions out there. So I think that's one of the reasons why I wanted to learn more. Profession on a professional level, my background has been health informatics, like I said, on the education slash academic wise. And I started working as a consultant at PricewaterhouseCoopers as a healthcare consultant, and then I moved on, and right now I'm as working as an implementation manager for a revenue cycle company in healthcare.
Excellent, excellent. Great background, guys. Thank you. Um, is there anyone else on the call? Okay. So these are what I'm showcasing is a few students that had taken training with us. I just wanted to let everybody know that you don't really need an IT background because, for example, Jatin, who actually is working as a very successful BA, I think he's now in Nashville, Tennessee. He actually moved in from New Zealand, had no IT background at all. And all these students here, if at any point anyone has a question, want to know more details, how the resume was, where is this person working, we can showcase all that except some confidential information. So he's working there, and Beth was a recruiter in, I think, Crossfire Consulting, if I'm right. She's working as a business analyst now. And Poojan was a was into business and wanted to get into IT. And Poojan was, such a sharp student. He actually landed a job while the training was going on. I think on last fifth or sixth week of the training, he actually got an opportunity where only 1 year of experience was required, and he's working very successfully. So all these guys, you will find them on LinkedIn, and they are connected with me. So any information needed, they're there. The last one here, I'd like to mention Ritu. Ritu had no IT background at all, but she was fresh out of college, and she started working at NBC studio in New Jersey, in North New Jersey, in the Disney and so on. So she started working as a business analyst and a manual tester, and then moved up into project coordination right now, into project manager, I believe. So, and Sarah here in the middle, she owned, franchise of, I think, Subways and so on. So wanted to, move or get into IT for a perfect or a good work-life balance. So she's working as a business analyst and project coordinator, as per my last contact with her. Okay. So these are some of the, successful students. I wanted to showcase that you don't really need IT background to be successful. One thing is very, very common in these successful students. Hard work and dedication is required, patience is required, and with my trainings, as long as you follow what I'm training you on and you're completing your assignments and practical work, success will be yours, guaranteed, right? But I'm going to be honest with you. There are maybe, I would say, 10 to 15% of the students that I get that for XYZ reason, they take the training and then sometimes they had to go to India for certain reasons. They come back after 3 months, 6 months, or sometimes there's something else comes up, which they get interested in. So they drop and don't pursue the career, but so later on they want to come back into business analyst and IT. But there are, so the success rate of students here, I would say, is like close to, I would say, 75 to 85%. But then there are students who are not successful, not because the training is not high quality training or practical training, it's because the circumstances why they're not able to pursue that career. Okay. So I think we went through that. So job boards, which we will see, there are still a lot of, in DICE, there are about, I think, 50,000 to 60,000. This is just, per month and so on. There are a lot of jobs for business analyst and Scrum Master and so on, which I'll showcase real time. Okay. Now, that brings us to the whole process of how our trainings are conducted. So the demo is being done right now to get you guys used to or give you an overview of what this training is all about, what kind of trainer will be training you, and what would be the platform. Is it going to be real classroom experience and so on? So that's what we are going through right now. And of course, we all are interested in BA and Scrum training, so that's where you are. So the next step after this demo would be an emails will be sent out to you for you to register, go through the payment process, and so on. Like I said, the class will start next Monday, so hopefully the registrations are done prior to that. Stage 2, quality training will commence from day 1. And the training is done in such a way that every day you come in and you state 3 things. Okay. What have you done yesterday? What you plan to do today? Are there any roadblocks or issues or something that is preventing you to go further? So students might come back and say, well, I reviewed what was taught yesterday. This is one thing that I don't understand. I need more examples. Another thing could be, well, for XYZ reason, I was not able to study anything at all, right? Can you please help me, review this portion of the lecture again? Where can I find the recordings and so on? So recordings will be done. Each class is recorded and saved, and your access is provided to you in case you miss the class. But my experience as a trainer, if people are missing more than, let's say, 3 classes, then they are either, they're not keeping up with the class or so on. So for those students, I contact one-on-one and try to help them in whatever ways I can. And we had cases like that for XYZ reason. There were like 2 missed classes and so on. So recorded sessions is just an extra benefit or facility for you in case if something emergent comes up and you're not able to keep up
Good
with
evening,
that.
Farham.
Rini, how are you?
Fine. Sorry I'm late because
No, no
because
problem.
there was Ganesh Puja and I just came from Ganesh Puja and also I had to go to Staples to buy some printing paper and my ink really died out.
No problem, Devi. Thank you for joining. So we just started and the recording will be there for you.
Okay,
Okay.
thanks, man.
All right. And then progress, we will actually be monitoring your progress. So we'll be giving assignments and quizzes, and there will be exams. So this training is completely practical. So you will actually be doing, hands-on, assignments and so on. The reason why I want to make sure that you're doing practical, because let's say you start working, you shouldn't be feeling that, oh, I've never done this, or this is different than this is not this stuff is different than what it was taught in the training. I personally guarantee that once this training is done and you start working, you will feel no difference at all what you have to do, right? So is I'm just so this training is that practical. right? You will not be, well, you'll not be having any surprises. Trainer and student feedback, there's constant feedback or communication going on with the students and the trainer. Now, the third stage, which we will start, let's say this is a 6-week long training. So perhaps after 3 weeks or 4 weeks, I'm going to spend time with you to take your current resume and start updating it and kind of, see if we can assign any project that is going on in our internal company. So we have, website upgrade projects, some internal projects going on within the company also. So we can link you up with those projects and add those on your resume. There will be mock interviews. So as if it's a real interview, you don't know me, I don't know you. So we'll set up like a 1 hour session with the complete batch. And for example, right now we have Mirza, Roshni. So Mirza becomes, let's say, a senior BA, Roshni becomes a BA, Devi becomes, let's say, a project manager, and I become some. So we wear different hats and we ask one person as if it's a real interview. So we keep practicing. So first mock interview, and then we all give feedback. How did you do? Did you do well? What was your communication? What's your subject level? And then I provide all feedback for you to come back for the second mock interview. Then we do the third, then we do the fourth. So until you are perfect and you score at least 9 out of 10, then you're actually ready for facing the real interview. Because the real interviews are golden opportunities for you guys, right? So you don't want to miss that. So getting, as you guys have researched, right? There are a lot of jobs, but what good is a job and what good is an interview if you're not able to, crack that interview? So for that reason, we want to make sure, I as a trainer want to make sure that you are able, you're going to be successful in that interview. Job preparation and readiness. So that's where, you know, I will prepare you after, let's say you are offered a job. Now, what you should do and you shouldn't do on your day one and day two and day three, and how do you, progress? How do you keep the job? That's also very, very important, right? Sustenance is very important. So cracking the interview, starting to work as a BA, and then keeping the job and going, with full speed, that's another challenge that you'll face. So I'll be on the standby, I'll be on the support to do that, right? And of course, our team, we have a recruiting team who will do marketing for you. So they'll take this resume and with our vendors and clients that we have, we will send it out. One word of caution here, the team will not, this company does not guarantee that after you take the training, we will get you. So there are no um, promises or guarantees given with the company, because our experience says, right, let's say we prepare the student, we give quality training, and for XYZ reason, they don't perform well. They don't, sometimes, some students have anxiety, other issues, right, that they may not be able to, crack the interview. So for those reasons, we cannot take guarantee. But quality training, yes. Help with marketing, yes. But with marketing also, we want to work hand in hand. So we want to work as a team. So we don't want students to feel like, okay, they will, get me the job in hand and they'll get me the interview. I'll just sit and no, we want you to work with us on a daily basis with our recruiting team to say, all right, did you get any interviews? Did you apply? Where did you apply? Are you using your personal network also, friends, family, right? In addition to all the efforts that we are putting. So with a joint effort, we are going to, land a job. Okay. Um, placement, background checks, and paperwork, and so on. So once you get the job, there will be background checks and some paperwork. So if you decide to work with I2C Business Solutions, this is the staffing and consulting firm. I2C training is just another track of I2C Business Solutions. So if you decide to, all right, I want to work with I2C Business Solutions, then all the background checks and other things would be performed by us, right? But this training does not bind you to go and, let's say your friend says, hey, I have a job for you. Come on over, join my company directly, not through I2C. You're more than welcome to do that because there is no binding, there are no contracts, nothing. It's employment at will. So, and this is training at will. So you're free to join any company directly as well. Okay. Dedicated job support, I think we went through that. There will be free trainings on, I think I've added you guys. If not, I'll add you in a WhatsApp group. We on and off frequently, we offer free trainings, free tips and techniques and so on that you should avail, and for example, Power BI training is free. There are new products coming up in the market that it's very, very easy to learn. So I might put that. So all those things would be offered to you. And for paid trainings, once you become an employee, you will definitely be offered paid trainings as well, free of cost. That's one of the benefits. So let's say you work as a business analyst, you pay for this and you become an employee. Now you want to advance your career. Hey, I want to take Scrum Master certification. I want to take training for that. That would be free of cost. I want to get into product owner. So that will be free of cost. Any other trainings that you see under the board, cybersecurity or anything, you'll be able to enroll for free. The last stage would be career growth, right? So I still get calls from students or emails, hey, I'm even after 5 years or 8 years of training, hey, I'm working, how you doing? I'm working as such and such. I'm kind of lost how I can get into management. What do I have to do? I started as a BA and I'm stuck here, or I'm working as a project coordinator. So I usually provide that unlimited guidance on those. Sometimes I get a call where they say, hey, I'm getting an offer and the salary offered is this, and how do I negotiate for a better salary? So I kind of help because I'm very good at salary negotiations. So I have helped many people get better salaries, right? As much as we can. Sometimes you have to kind of weigh the risk of, demanding a lot versus what is realistic. So I kind of help my students on that. Okay. Any questions anyone has on this? And Mirza, I hope I covered your question you asked before.
Yes, that was helpful. Thank you.
Okay. All right. You're welcome. All right. This is the competition that we have. The other choices that you guys have is there are many institutes or training institutes that are offering business analysis. You go on Google, you'll see a whole bunch of institutes there that you can see. But my experience or the feedback that we get is very, very practical training, straightforward online trainings and so on. So and access to the trainer all the time. And we are a registered company in US. We are based in New Jersey. We have an office in South Plainfield and so on. So I have heard, horror stories about some training institutes, taking the registration fee, and guess what? After 2 weeks or 3 weeks, there are no classes, or that there's no um, track of the trainers, and the recordings are there, sometimes it's not there. So all kind of feedbacks I get, and then people come to me after going through that. So quality will definitely be compromised with that, but with so quality is definitely provided with this training. Okay. What is our process? So then this is our high level agenda, right? So we will start with very, very basics. Why business analyst? And Roshni, you have taken Scrum Master and you're working in different areas and so on. So how BA, learning BA would be valuable to you? What does this BA do? How is that different from Scrum Master? And Mirza is working in Price Water Coopers. How you kind of relate all that. So there will be a lot of discussions. Like I said, this is going to be a complete interactive training. So once we build that and understand that, right, then we will look at organizations. What are the different domains? What are the different areas, right? Whether it's automotive industry, healthcare, finance, and so on. How a company is structured. What does this IT department do? What value does it provide? What's the organization structure? Who reports to what? What are the, different, you know, reporting structures in different organizations. Then we will start looking into the different roles and responsibilities. What does a project manager do? What does Scrum Master do? How do they interact with the BA? What are the business users? Who are these stakeholders? Uh, and what are the trainers do? What does the solution architect do? How an IT project is created, and how does a company select out of, let's say, 50 different projects? How do they prioritize those different projects? What tools and techniques they use? So all those discussions will be here. And these discussions, guys, you will not find it anywhere written. It's not going to be in the books and so on. So this can only come with your interaction with an experienced trainer who has gone through all that and who has hands-on experience, right? Then we will look into communication skills, right? How important is communicating with all the project members in your group as a BA, as a Scrum Master, and so on? What tools we will use? What are these meeting minutes? How do I capture that? Who writes it? What is the format that we have to go through? Where do we save all these documents? Do we save it in Jira? Do we save it on some SharePoint? Or where do we save all this? So all these things you will actually be doing. So you will actually be creating a Word document called meeting minutes, and you will actually be storing in one of our shared drives. So all this experience that you're going to get from this training will be no different than what you will be doing at work. Then we will start looking into projects. What kind of projects are there in IT? What project methodologies or process do we follow? What is this waterfall? What is this Agile and Scrum? How are they different? Why should I select waterfall versus Agile? Right? So these are, we'll take a deep dive into that. Then we will get into the requirements. What are these functional business requirements? Requirements in the sense, what does the business users want? What does the customer want? So think of it this way. You're going to be a business analyst. You are the middleman. And on your right side, you imagine or visualize that you have business users or your customers. And on the left side, you have all the technical team. You have programmers. You have database administrators. You have server guys. You have um, project managers. You have solution architects. So basically, your customers are saying, well, for example, I'm in HR department, I'm in human resource department. I am getting a lot of resumes for when I post a job, right? I need some kind of application or a platform to organize all these resumes that I'm receiving. And I need some way to keep track of who am I interviewing, who gets selected, who's being offered, and all that. So IT, knock knock, can you build an application for us? So that becomes a project based on the value, the need of the business. And who's the business customer here? Your HR department. Like that, every company has a finance department also, HR department. Finance department might say, well, we need to keep track of our budget and expenses and so on. We don't have any way of doing it. Can we implement some product or some application that will help us do this, right? An insurance company, let's say claims department, we all have cars and we drive and so on. So let's say an insurance company, Geico or NJM or any other insurance company, right? Um, they get in some claims about, some repairs and so on. Where do we track? How do we track all those claims? And what is the denial and approval process of those claims? We need some tool or platform or an application to keep track of all that, right? So IT, knock knock, we are insurance department. Can you build an application for us? Right? So these are your requirements that you would go through once the project is approved and kicks off, right? And then we will start talking about what are these different techniques of gathering all these requirements. Now, the training does not end with business analysis. So with this, I have combined manual testing also. So you will actually be able to work as a manual tester also in addition to working as a BA. There are many jobs that are saying, hey, I need a business analyst, but I need someone who can do some manual testing also or write test cases. So you will be able to work as a manual tester too, right? Then we'll start looking into the databases. Databases at this point, just think of it as a container to hold your data, right? So all the different containers, Access, Oracle, SQL Server, all these things, how does the data get stored? And what is the language used to communicate with this data and so on? So we'll start looking into nothing technical. I don't want you guys to think that, hey, Fahim, the trainer is going to turn us into programmers. No, this is high level information, enough information for you to know so that you're successful as a BA. That's all. Then we will actually be creating some documents called business requirement document. And now with Agile and Scrum on the rise, we'll actually be creating or adding epics, user stories, and so on, which I'll showcase in a minute. We will also learn some of the popular tools. We'll learn Salesforce, high level, Tableau, Jira, Power BI. So I'm going to keep on adding anything new that comes in the market or becomes popular, right? So we will actually be doing that. Domain knowledge, different domains, right? What is this HIPAA compliance? So if you are working in if you're applying for a job in a pharma company, you better know what is HIPAA. So there are some high level details that you need to know before you start working in any company. So we'll go through and understand that domain knowledge. Just be mindful that there is no way for you to know each and everything about healthcare, right? There are like, it takes 4 years or even 6 years to learn the whole thing or hold all the rules about healthcare. This is only high level information enough to get you the job as a BA into that company. right? Not saying that you'll, get all the knowledge you need. That's gonna, you learn that once you start working as a BA anyway. Then now you're ready for the market, and like I said, mock interviews will be done, resume will be updated for you, and so on, right? On top of that, I will be actually assigning you a project. So you will be given a project that you'll be working on individually. So you will actually be creating requirements for that and so on, right? Any questions on this? Please feel free to interrupt. Okay. And what are you getting into? You're a business analyst. You're such an important person here. And or what you see here all around, let me get a drawing. So all these roles, right? These are all the roles that you're going to interact with. Now, companies doesn't have the luxury of having all these roles. So maybe they will not be a change manager. They would not be technical writers. They would not be the. So based on the budget of the company, the resources available, you'll be having or working with all these guys, right? Very, very easy. But why I wanted to highlight this, this is such an important and very, very interesting role, because you are actually the foundation of a project, whether it is going to be successful or fail, right? So you will actually, you're the backbone. And that's where the fun is all about, the challenge. There's no fun without any challenges. So this is why being a BA, I love being a BA, right? Because you're a very, very important person. Okay. These are some of the things that a BA does on a day-to-day basis. So you'll be spending time with documenting, adding requirements, and don't think like adding requirements or taking requirements is like, okay, Fahim is a business user or a customer. He goes to Roshni, hey Roshni, I want 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm not going to spell out. So when you learn this business analysis, you're going to help Fahim articulate or help Fahim give you the requirements. You're going to say, if Fahim says, I want you to build a customer information page to capture customer information. So if I say, yeah, I want first name, last name, you're going to say, hey, do you also need email address? Do you need telephone numbers? Are you going to do anything with email address? Are you going to market your product for what are you going to use that for? So those are the questions you will learn the ability you'll to ask, or you'll build that ability to ask those kind of questions. And you're going to do process analysis. What is the current state of the company? A company might say, a mortgage company, for example, and say, well, we are doing 50 applications in a month, this every month. Once we have this project or some good process in place, our goal is to do 200 applications in a month. That's your future state. How do we get there? That's what you're going to analyze and work with your technical team to fill that role. Okay, so at this point, I think I'll pause and let you guys ask as many questions as you may have. Just to reiterate, the class is scheduled to start on Monday at 8 o'clock. And no matter how many students register, there are, I think, already 3 or 4 students registered already who didn't want to even go through the demo. They have registered, but any more registrations, that's going to be great. But even if I have whatever students, the class will start on Monday, right? So and the end of the class, even though we target and to complete the class like within 5 to 6 weeks, that doesn't mean that it will, let's say you're, going at a little slow pace and unable to absorb and so on. So it can go up to 7 weeks. As a trainer, I don't have any problem with that. My goal is to provide you excellent training, quality training, so that it benefits you. Even if it takes a little bit, 1 week more or 2 weeks more or extra hours, I'm all willing to do that for you. Okay. So if you are, if you have all the information you needed and you feel like, yeah, this is what I want to do, um, you will go ahead and register and go through that payment process so that your seat is secure. Okay, so before while you guys think about any questions to ask, let me also showcase a few things that we talked about. This is the company that I2C Business Solutions that's going to market you guys. And you will be actually creating all these user stories. So there will be a project given to you, and you will actually be doing all hands-on experience. And you will learn how to create dashboards, user stories, and epics, and so on, right? Um, okay, this is from the training that was started in August 8th. So we will have all kind of interactions and um, user stories or requirements created. So it's all, whether it's in UAT, all these different processes. So complete hands-on. You will also be learning about the databases, all practical. So you will actually be writing and doing this all practical and seeing it for yourself, right? So you'll be actually doing all that experience here. So you will get to see all those results. And we will also be learning Tableau. It's a great tool. It's a free tool. So I'm gonna, use this platform to help you guys learn and build beautiful dashboards um, with very less effort. You don't need to be any technical and so on. So Tableau you learn, and also Power BI. These are very high in demand. So a BA who knows Tableau, a BA who knows Power BI, it just adds more and more value to your resume. Okay. And we are constantly looking at the employment and index, and are these jobs are really in demand and so on. So I'm, as a trainer, I'm constantly researching where we are headed and what are we looking for, right? And here's your management occupations. So you can be assured that your BA roles are being, still high in demand. So this is one of the job board that you will actually be using to do your research to say, hey, is business analyst still in demand? So if you look at the jobs here, 2,635 jobs, like just for any day. And there are some remote jobs also. There are 5 nowadays. Remote jobs are on the horizon. I was just looking at a report. There at least 30 to 35% of the people are refusing the jobs if it's not offered remote. Some companies are doing hybrid. They want you to come to work at least 3 days in a week and 2 days work from home. So you will have all that flexibility. So I would say, earlier I used to say business analyst, perfect work-life balance. You're working 9 to 5, 5 o'clock, you're going home. Not like programmers who would work, burn oil, stay late and so on. But now it provides more flexibility, good work-life balance, because now most of the jobs are work from home, and 5 o'clock you're done. You're even saving commuting time. right? So there are and there are jobs which does not require you to have uh, experience also. So so here, if I do in Indeed, for example, right, business. Oh, by the way, if you have entry-level positions, right? So let's see, entry-level positions. So you have ERP, business analyst, so or this business analyst, entry level, right? This does not require you to have the pay rate, salary will be a bit low for entry level positions, but there are entry level positions as well. Okay. But if you have to add experience, you're more than welcome to add our internal projects on your resume, and so that you can showcase your experience. And also, some people that come to me as students say, hey, I've been working as, a scrum master, or, a salesperson, but I'm using, this application and so on. Hey, so I can help you guys, kind of highlight, IT aspects and create a project on your resume so that you're more marketable. Okay. And lastly, I also wanted to showcase some of the work, that is being done by our students. Business analysis training, right? So these are all your extra question and answers and so on, that is available for you at any time, right? So that you can leverage. And yes, showcase trainings. Okay, these are all the assignments that get saved into this kind of folders here. I got to get better, a little bit better at organizing this. Exams are done for all the students and so on. So, and then a lot of sample documents and other stuff is provided. And not only that, this is going to be at this point, the Scrum Master role becomes very, very important for you to learn. So, especially for you, Roshni, if you have taken Scrum Master, then BA, it's a great, great combination. It just adds more value to your resume. All right, I think we are 7 minutes over. So who has any question for me? And I think, hold on.
So, Fahim, sorry, just wondering, so you would send all the information to our emails, right?
Absolutely. I'll send
Okay.
you the links and everything. And if you guys can revert back, if I have your phone numbers also, I'm going to add you into my WhatsApp group so that you get all my contact information and so on.
Okay. Thank
Yeah,
you.
you're welcome. Mirza, Devi, you guys good? Any questions at this point?
No, I'm good. I'm
All
good.
right.
All my questions are answered.
Okay, excellent, excellent. All right, and if no other questions, and that doesn't mean, if you're not able to think of any other question, that's fine at this point, but feel free to text me at any time between now and before the class starts if anything helps you make a decision to join the batch on Monday.
Okay.
All right. Thank you guys for your time. Appreciate it. And I look forward to having all of you in my class.
Okay.
Have a
Thank you.
good night. Take care.
Thank you.
You too.
All right, bye-bye.
Okay.